Investors often worry about what the market's doing when they're focused on how much money they'll have in retirement, but sometimes the biggest enemy is ourselves. I'm Jack Otter, editor of BARRON'S.com. I'm here with Michael Finke, a professor of personal financial planning at Texas Tech University. So let's talk first of all about the behavioral mistakes that people sometimes make when planning for retirement or when actually reaching retirement.
So we've done a number of studies on financial literacy changes that occur as we get older in retirement. We find that people do become less able to make, especially more complex financial decisions later on in life. And in the 401k era, we're requiring that older people make investments and decumulation decisions, which are often very complex. And by the time you hit, say, for example, age 90, about a third of Americans are experiencing clinical dementia, another third are experiencing some sort of cognitive impairment. So the question becomes, how can we take care of building a retirement income plan for later on in life where automation may make more sense?
And even setting aside the mental issues that may occur at later age, this is a fairly new thing. It used to be that you had the pension and you had Social Security where the annuitization was handled for you. Now people have to make this fairly complex mathematical decision on their own.
That's right. And fortunately, we have a new product, a qualified longevity annuity contract called a QLAC, that allows us to incorporate an annuity into our later life income plan. So what we can do is we can set up to $125,000 of our 401k and put it into a QLAC, which is then can avoid RMD rules, and you get a little bit of a deferral.
That's required minimum distribution.
Right. So we take $125,000 off the table. We don't have to take required minimum distributions from that $125,000, and it'll then start paying an income, say at age 80 or 85. And the advantage of that is that, first of all, it's getting rid of that so-called longevity risk later on in life. And I'd like to think of QLACs as really an insurance product to protect against the possibility of running out of money later on in life. Because more and more Americans, especially higher income Americans, are making it into their 90s and even into their hundreds. And that's what we call idiosyncratic longevity, the risk that we're going to live a very long time. And nobody knows how long they're going to live at the beginning of retirement. So you've got two choices. You can either be very conservative and set aside a bunch of money just in case you live to 100, or you can buy a product which essentially insures you against the possibility that you live a long time. You set aside $125,000, but you can actually buy quite a significant income later in life with $125,000 because, frankly, a lot of those people who buy a QLAC aren't going to be around anymore to start getting payments from that QLAC. So it's one of those products where you do hope that you get some income from it, unlike a normal type of insurance product. A lot of people won't, but it still makes sense as part of a retirement income strategy because it then gives you a fixed time horizon that you can plan for.
I think what's important to note here is that that money is getting set aside, at age 65 or 70, and you're not drawing on it till 85.
That's right.
And so there's a lot of accumulation there that happens, plus, of course, the benefit such as it is that a lot of people will never draw anything on that, and so therefore the payout, is it possible to give a sense of what sort of a payout you might get from $125,000?
Well, it's significantly more than you would get from a single premium immediate annuity. So with a single premium immediate annuity, you may only get 5 or 6% of your initial investment. So, it's going to cost $500,000 to buy $30,000 in income. With a QLAC, you can buy a much higher income for a lower amount because it does kick in later on. So you get the mortality credit benefit, and you also get the benefit of that money, the investment benefit of that money, which is pretty modest right now because annuities invest primarily in bonds, but you do get both of those benefits to provide a higher income per dollar spent.
Now, one of my sort of concerns about annuities is often the fees can be high, but in these products the fees are reasonable?
Well, they're very simple. So there's not a whole lot of products yet out on the market, and it remains to be seen what the fees are going to look like and how much competition there's going to be among providers. But usually with annuities, the simpler the product, the more competitive they are.
And finally, can anyone do this, or is it only if your company offers it?
Anybody can do this. So anybody can just buy a QLAC with their qualified retirement savings. But I think what you'll see is over the course of the next year or two, more and more products entering the market.
Thanks very much, Michael.
My pleasure.